a little bit crazy with these bids, and it winds me up. You know what I'm like? I don't like misinformation. I'm turning into CNN at times, but obviously a lot of people have said, will Adelaide pick him up? I've seen these rumours a lot. Will Adelaide bid? Well, you've got to remember that Adelaide have 2 picks in this draft, 4 and 64. They currently have 37 on their list spots in their seniors, so that means that they'll only have 1 at this stage, which will be pick 4. They have Tyler Welsh to worry about, who may slide down to a rookie. It can happen, but I would be surprised because I'm a big fan of the Welsh dog. I think he's an incredible prospect. So they'll have pick 4. They weren't in the right mind. Like, I'm telling you right now, if Adelaide went pick 4 Ben Camporeales, Carlton would say, okay, have him. Like, so, and that's no knock on Ben Camporeales. That's just far too early, and people are being way too nuanced, in my opinion, about what the father-son bid system is. Historically, we actually see players go lower than they're anticipated with father-sons. So he's kind of, this is what I complain about every year, that Levi Ashcroft won't be pick 1. Right? So it's not going to happen. Port Adelaide at 29-36. They've got quite a lot of work to do. They've got 5 list spots. Do I think that they will mess about? They won't at 13. They won't at 29. Potentially at 36. Yes, they may do. But from a Carlton point of view, if you include 38, Carlton have 700 points, right? So that means that they can match a bid from 21, so that won't bother them so much. If Carlton get their 38, which I anticipate they will do, they've got 239, so they can actually cover a bid from anywhere after their 38. It's quite interesting how the Blues have done this, that they can literally bid and cover a bid now from 20. If they do use 38, which I anticipate they will, they can cover all the selections from 39. It's also worth noting that if it's anywhere from 39, Carlton have traded out next year. They brought in a pick into the second round. They brought in Brisbane's pick, which is currently scheduled based on last year at 36. They've also got that. So the debt would go on. The debt, though, after, if there is a debt to be paid, it's only paid in the same round as the year where the bid is. So if it was pick 38 in 2024, in 2025, it would be pick 38, the same round. That would be a 3rd round for next year, but obviously it'll be pushed back, but it'll be at the same selection, and it's scaled down should it not be in the same round at your next available pick. I.e., if you didn't have a second rounder, your debt would then go to the 3rd rounder. It's not your first. So it's the next pick after that. So with it being scaled down, there will be less 10% as well because the value of the picks is less next year. Carlton would be looking at a max deficit of about 50, even if it goes crazy. So these are locked and loaded. These are locked and loaded. It's happening. Do not worry. Any of the misinformation you see out there, it's absolutely barbaric. No club is bidding on the Camporeales in the top 10. It ain't happening. And it would kick off a huge revenue. It would kick off a huge thing. So let's talk about the Camporeales. Now, we've talked about them quite a lot on this show. And Ben Camporeales, obviously, is probably the most famous of the two at the moment, standing at 186. He's only a baby as well. Welcome, everyone, back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. If you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I wasn't feeling so well yesterday, so this video is probably getting to you a little bit later. So thank you very much for your support. I had great fun on the live. We'll do another mock draft together. It was so fun just seeing your guys and girls' votes and how you thought it was go. It was quite easy for me because I just played like the intermediary, so that was good. But had a hell of a lot of fun, and you can really see that. So I've updated the sheet. That is live now. You can see how that works as well. So make sure you go and check that out. We're here today to talk about father and sons. And the Blues have got two coming their way in Ben Camporeales and Lucas Camporeales from the Glen Elg Football Club, South Australia. The Blues and South Australia go together quite well. Quite a lot of famous blue baggers have played there. And obviously, a lot of you will be familiar with his dad, Scott. who gave a lot of great times to the Blues. And let's talk about these boys in depth. But first, let's have a look at Carlton and let's talk about what Carlton have in the way of picks. Now, I want to just clear some things up. Some people are getting... he's got the beautiful long flowing hair. He really does suit the Carlton mandate of drafting in the last couple of years under Nick Austin. That he's incredibly strong at running. Great aerobic capacity. A natural accumulator. Started last year when he really came to the fore at halfback flank, where we were all a little bit excited, working his way up to the wing. This year has been that inside midfielder. Very clean in the contest. Very clean around bodies. Hits them handballs pretty well. Ended up winning the MVP. And in the National Championships for South Australia this year, 4 games, 27 touches, 5 marks, 6 inside 50s, 4.5 clearances, 3.5 score involvements, just under 4 tackles. Really showcasing his hard working both front and behind centre, which really does suit Carlton. Carlton love their two-way runners at the minute. In the Sandford Reserves, he did play 1 game where he had 22 touches, 6 marks, 6 inside 50s, and 8 tackles. That was a mixture in that game for Glenelg of senior players and obviously draftees. So, and then in for Glenelg under 18, 6 games, 32 touches, 5 marks, 6 inside 50s, 7 clearances, 6.5 score involvements. And there has been some knocks, like, you know, on his kicking and his ball use, but to take out the B&F, being one of the 4 from such a limited amount of games, 6, just shows how well he's done. He really does stand out. Now, my one knock on him is at the moment he is the star for Glenelg. And obviously when you come to Carlton, you are going to be that type of player that isn't, the team's not going to be built around you. You're going to be that accessory. Now, that does put some people off, and totally right. And that's probably reflected in the fact that he is a father-son. And also he is playing a position that's classed as like a hybrid mid who can slide forward and slide down back if need be. The draft is aplenty with these type of players. Does that lessen his value? It does in the real scale, because obviously if you've got pick 28, 29, you know it's going to be matched. But he is a very interesting little prospect, because to go from the outside to be so dominant on the inside shows he's got some footy IQ and some footy nous. So this is a really exciting one that I think can be something that can be potentially reared. And I could see him starting his life as a halfback for the Blues in the VFL as he gets used to that drive, the speed of the game, but also to work on his craft a little bit. Because the pluses of Ben Camporeales around where the picks are going to be for the Blues, you've got to remember that in real life, no matter where he goes, the Blues are burning picks in the 60s to match his bid. He's far better than a pick 60. So that's the way I always look at it. What bids are you using to match them bids? Cal will be using 63, 68 and 69. Picks like that. Huge upside on him. So his work rate is really the thing that sets him apart. And the fact that he has learnt a new role and worked really hard at it. So he's someone that I'm really excited about seeing his development in the Magoos. He's got some really good players to learn off there. Binsley's been in the system. Ollie's been in the system. Blake, George Hewitt. Then you've got them players like Walshy, who I think will be literally like a sponge for Ben to learn off, who's like that kind of master of all them little dark arts in the midfield. One that I think is a nice slow burn and come in. I know he's got the famous surname, so you can't keep comparing him to Scott. But he is Ben himself, and he's got to be the best Ben that he can be. I am kind of excited about this prospect, though, because I think that there is a lot of workability with him. So stay tuned for this, but I'm excited about this pickup. And up next is his brother, Lucas. And you know what? I really like Lucas, and I just feel that this guy has got like a doctorate in footy now. So when you watch him playing at the half-back, he has slid forward, has played on the run. He loves that run and carry. He loves to take that run and bounce. He loves to break lines. He's got an incredible vertical leap. Like, this guy could have been a basketballer. Like, when you see him jump, it is like the world stands still. And he did an interview a while ago where he talks about that, like he models his game on Errol Goulden, and you can see it. And when you look at the under-18s this year, 8 games, 25 touches, 3.6 marks, 3.5 clearances, 4.4 inside 50s, 5.6 score involvements, 0.3 goals. He does like to do that give and go. Very Adam Sard-like in the terms of he likes to handball into the midfield, get the ball back. In the national champs, 21 touches, 5.3 marks, 1 clearance, 3.3 inside 50s, 3 score involvements, 3 tackles. And this is a guy here that I think will go into that rookie draft pool, just because I feel like at the moment people just don't know quite what he is. But I can see this guy working with Nick Newman and Adam Sard, someone I'm super, super excited about, because I feel when you're the lesser loved brother in the terms of like the AFL landscape, not saying that anyone loves him less, but the less sought after, there is always that hunger. And when I look at Lucas, I just feel that he is boringly consistent. You know that I always call Nick Newman boring because I know what he's going to give. That's the same with this guy, and he's got such an intuitive way of playing the game. He knows when to go, he knows when to break lines, he knows when to hang back. You look at his ground ball defence, it's really strong. I really like Lucas, and I feel like this could be one of them ones that, you know, you look back on in time and you go, wow. And I look at the people that, that imprint learning. He's learning off Adam Sard, who himself loves to run and carry, take the game on. Nick Newman, who can lock down, can get into the midfield, can get forward of the ball, get into attacking positions, create that overlap. Lucas has come into the perfect club that really dots the I's, crosses the T's, and I'm a big fan of him. Now, obviously, there's a lot that he's got to work on. His kicking efficiency he's got to work on. Probably at times, his ball use. Definitely like that, using them vertical leaps, you've got to use it at the right time. If you go flying for the ball and have that, they're them areas of concern. But I am a big fan of Lucas, and I feel like Lucas is going to be someone that can grow. Both of them have shown really good growth, and coming into the system with that name, bit of a disappointment that they're not top 20 and things like that. They've got it all to play for, but I am huge advocates of both of these kids, and like I say, if you're getting one in the rookie and then one for a collection of 60s because you're matching a bid, this presents really good value, and it could be quite an exciting draft because Carlton are going to have pick 3. They're going to probably use pick 38 because I think you'll see the clubs be quite nice this year as well. With the changes next year, and you're looking at all the draft pundits, you're looking at all the mock drafts, everyone's sliding quite a bit, which does give me that kind of curtail that people aren't going to be clowns. If a bid comes in the top 10 for these boys, Carlton won't match though. I can guarantee you that they won't do, but it's not going to happen. So we need to stop talking about it. But these are two very good, raw prospects who have got a lot of positives more than they have negatives. And I'm really excited about seeing them develop in the VFL next year. Keep an eye out for them. Go down there to the VFL, give them support. I'm looking forward to covering them all year. It's going to be a real exciting time. They've got some real good players to learn off that really complement their positives and negate their negatives. Can't wait to talk about them. Enjoy your weekend. Peace, love, and light. Pom out.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh